Coach, what do you think your young star quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, needs to improve upon in order to get to the next level?
Well, I think Tua played fantastic football for us all year long. So he was one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He's one of the most productive guys at his position in the country. He didn't turn the ball over. And that's the one thing that showed up a little bit more at the end of the season in the last 5 or 6 games, a couple interceptions. And, but sometimes you have good interceptions and you have bad interceptions. And, when you're coaching a player, when the corner bails, like on this play that you're showing right now, that you're going to throw the ball underneath, you're not going to try to throw the ball on the seam, and you try to stick it in there anyway. To me, that's an indication that a guy's trying to make plays and he's trying too hard. And I think Tua's just got to stay patient and take what the defense gives. And I think when he does that, he's the most effective player at his position in the country. And that's going to be our goal with him this year. And for the most part, he did that all year long. So it's not like we're disappointed in any way, shape, or form.
Coach, going forward, obviously we are right around the corner from the season. When you look going into this season, the SEC, the rest of the college football landscape, and you think about what you all need to do in order to get that process going, do all the things you need to do to be where you want to be at the end of the season, what are some of those indicators you've seen already from your team to tell you that you may have a different mindset for the duration of the season?
Well, I kind of have been encouraged by the leadership that we have on this team. The people that are leaders on your team have to be committed to doing things the right way. I mean, you played for me, you know what I'm talking about. You got to set a good example. You can't be the guy that walks in the meeting late. You can't be the guy that's missing class. You got to set a good example and be somebody that everybody else on the team can emulate, because that's the only way they're going to respect you. When you stand up and speak and try to get people to follow you, to do the things that you need to do to accomplish great things in college football or to win a championship. I think that's better on our team. I think the discipline has been better. I think people are trying to be more accountable. What the team chemistry is going to be like, to me, that's a work in progress. So we'll kind of see how that continues to develop throughout the course of the season.
Coach, you've become infamous for your kind of visible annoyance at certain questions at press conferences.
Oh, yeah. I was nervous for this interview.
What is the thing that bothers you most? What sets you off at those press conferences?
Really, I think sometimes I'm just trying to get a message across through the media to our team. And when somebody asks me a question that gives me an opportunity to do that, I do it. And it's really to benefit our team. It's not really to make anybody look bad, but I want our team to get the message. And so that's kind of, I think you guys use me sometimes to create a little news. All right, so I'm just going to use you to create a little news with our team.
I get it. One hand watches the other. Yeah, we certainly do. Good promotions. All right, I'm going to try not to annoy you with this, Coach, but you've coached up a lot of superstars. So do me a favor. I'm going to name a former player and just give me one word to describe them, okay? First up, Julio Jones.
Great competitor.
Derrick Henry.
Another great competitor. That's the first thing I think of when you give me these words of guys that were great players, that were productive. Julio Jones is probably the best teammate, the best competitor, the hardest worker. And Derrick Henry was a lot the same way. I mean, a guy won the Heisman Trophy. But the thing that I hold in highest esteem for players that play on our teams is the guys that are great competitors. But it's a combination of all the things that I just talked about. So when you ask me about these guys, that's going to be the first thing that comes to mind, because I have that kind of respect for those guys, as competitors and as people.
All right, let me do like two more. Amari Cooper.
No, that guy is a great competitor, but he's also skilled and had great ability to make explosive plays, probably as well as anybody I've ever seen.
Okay, last one here for you, Coach. Marcus Spears.
Great competitor.
He was a great competitor.
Come on, Coach. Give me something else.
Let me say this about Marcus Spears. Marcus Spears and Michael Clayton were from Baton Rouge, and I was a new coach at LSU. And players in Baton Rouge were not going to LSU. And these two guys were two of the most premier players in the country. So he had enough character to see the opportunity at LSU and the program that we were trying to build. And he and Michael Clayton both decided to come to LSU when it wasn't fashionable to come to LSU when we first went there. And both became great players and great competitors. All right, so those two guys are always special in my heart, all right, because they believed and trusted in us before. And Julio Jones did the same thing. You know, he came to Alabama when we were 6-6, all right, not when we were 12-0. All right, so those guys believed and trusted that they could be a part of something special, and they're always kind of special to me because of that.
Coach, I'm going to ask you something off the radar that we talk about, and you and I haven't really talked about it, and it's interesting. I want to ask you, what do you think would have happened with you in Miami if you would have got Drew Brees?
Well, you know me well enough to know I'm not going to answer a hypothetical question, all right, and yet you still ask.
E for
All right,
effort.
all the training, 4 years of training on the team and understanding, don't answer a hypothetical question, and then who asked one? Come on.
Coach, what about this?
I will say this, just Drew Brees is a great competitor too, and he's obviously proven, you know, at the Saints, his productive ability and his leadership ability to create a winning environment for his team, and to think that that wouldn't have happened in Miami, regardless of who the coach was, I think probably would have.
I got an answer to a hypothetical.
That's right.
That's what
You're
happened.
winning.
Coach, I have a non-hypothetical.
Out of respect for Drew Brees, that's why you got it.
Oh, man.
Coach, thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.